Hey, Guoba here. Is that gem count staring at you deep into your soul, challenging your every pull? Are you checking guides day in and day out to see who is truly worth it? Or are you saving gems because of some suspicious reasons? Well, today I'll be going through the next 3 characters, Luocha, Kafka and Blade, discussing what new things they'll bring to Star Rail, and how they'll change the meta, to determine who you should pull. So, Luocha is our very next 5-star character, arriving on June 28th. He is an imaginary abundance unit. He can basic, heal an ally, or deal AoE imaginary damage. What he brings to Star Rail is a whole new way of healing. Natasha and Bailu, outside of their ultimate, will only heal during their turn. Luocha, however, will heal whenever you like, provided you have his talent up. Luocha can heal with his skill just like the rest, but with this talent, any ally attacks will heal your team up by a little bit, and the ally that attacks by a lot. Just like Fire MC, this means you can interject allies' ultimates to provide healing for the whole team. So your DPS one-shotting a tiny robot will now provide team utility with Luocha on the field. And his healing skill of course is very strong too, and it even has an emergency use, so you don't even have to use it sometimes. If that wasn't enough, he provides cleansing, which Bailu does not, and his ultimate has AoE buff removal, the first in the game and a 1-up over Pella's single target buff removal. He provides immense utility on top of immense healing, and his heals will also scale on his attack, so building for more healing means he can chunk out a bit of DPS on top of the rest. If you like Bailu and or Jeopard, his pull value is very high. Even with Bailu, he brings a lot of things to the table that she cannot. Also, imaginary units are very rare right now, so having that option versus imaginary weak characters is neat, and having that imaginary break can be very useful, as you'll be delaying enemies and slowing them by a ton. So Luocha will enable solo sustain teams just like Bailu or Jeopard can right now. His extra imaginary break, cleansing, and enemy buff removal for those strong enemy damage buffs should allow your team to survive incredibly well in hard content. Luocha will also help out destruction team archetypes, for example the beloved and infamous Blade Luocha combo. Not only will he be amazing for any team just for his heals and utility alone, any future HP sacrifices will love having Luocha in the team. Next, in 1.2 we will be getting 2 more Stellaron Hunters, Blade and Kafka, back to back. Let's discuss the main woman herself, Kafka. She is a lightning Nihility unit. She can pew pew people, slash people, or both. What she brings to Star Rail is dot detonation, meaning she can trigger damage over time effects to instantly do damage. This will solve dot team's main problem. Currently their damage is heavily backloaded. What this means is you don't instantly do a lot of damage, as it depends on when the enemy takes their turns. With Kafka on board, their damage can take effect every single turn of Kafka's. She also provides her own damage over time with very high scalings. Finally, she has great toughness damage with her kit being fully damage based and having some follow-ups. She will definitely shake the meta, as just by having her you'll have so many more team variations, and you'll enable any current dot characters or any future dot characters. If you don't like the dot playstyle, then Kafka might not be for you, but since she changes how dots function, you might like dots with her on your roster. If you do like dots anyway, she is a must pull, because she makes these teams even more fun and very viable, and maybe even OP if she releases strong enough. She isn't your standard hyper carry like Zila or Jingyuan. I mean, you can run it if you want, but she's rather a strong DPS that provides additional insane damage, all depending on your teammates. She will also be coming out with Luca, who's expected to provide some physical dot effects as a physical Nihility unit himself. Physical break is the strongest break, and so physical dot should be potent too, and thus the Luca and Kafka combo could be very OP. Remember, break dots can also be detonated by Kafka. Kafka will just get better and better as the game progresses, as any future OP dot character or break character will scale so well with her. Finally, we have Blade, the emo boy we all know and love, and sometimes make fun of for having no hair. He can slash, cut his fingers, slash, or even slash. What he brings to Star Rail is a new form of DPS, because Clara can tank hits, perform counters, and even heal with some light cones. and Arlen sacrifices his HP, but he likes to stay low. Blade is a bit in the middle. He will be voluntarily sacrificing his own HP to deal some insane damage, but he'll stack up charges to heal it all back up. His damage will be the first HP scaling damage in the game, and no E6 Natasha, you can stay out of this one. His kit will revolve around enhancing his basics with his skill and consuming HP whilst tanking hits to dish it all back out with follow-up attacks. This will heal him up and he'll go back to more slashing. Since his skill will enhance his basics for a few turns, he is pretty skill point efficient. What this means is he can be a sub DPS that can heal up by himself without taking away barely any skill points for the main DPS. So you have a sub DPS essentially with the potential damage of a main DPS. He can also be a main DPS too, so he's quite versatile already. Blade will enable new destruction team archetypes, or you run no preservation and just tank damage with a healer by your side. And yes, this technically means that preservation units are bad with him, as if he takes no damage, he won't be doing any damage. So if you don't like risky playstyles, he might have less value. If you have a hyper carry already, then a new DPS will have less pull value, but he provides strong wind element coverage, and he'll also be the beefiest DPS in the game, so he could fill a sort of Clara role as a bruiser that deals a ton of damage. So to summarize, Luocha will be the most versatile healer, with some crazy utility. You should pull him if you want to push Memory of Chaos and lack by Luocha apart. If you don't care about that stuff, you can pull him just because you like him. Even with Luocha apart on his count, he will still thrive. As for Kafka, she will enable a whole new type of teams, dot teams, by solving their primary problem. She will also dish out large DPS by herself, but her damage will truly scale from the teammates you bring. If you like dots or Kafka or want some DPS, she's a great pull. And finally, Blade I'd say has the least pull value out of them all, however he can thrive in team comps without preservation units and actually has a lot of versatility. He can also be used to solo run enemy stages if you're into that kind of thing. If you want a brand new type of DPS or just think he's hot, then why not pull him? I hope you enjoyed the pool discussion, thanks for watching, have a Guoba day.